Hi guys, so my last post was on muzzles and that certainly ruffled a few feathers. There are two distinct groups of people in the horse industry, and that is those that love horses and those that don't. And that might surprise you, but there are people that have horses, compete horses, show horses, breed horses, and they've got no love for horses whatsoever. But these people do not have any love for animals, whether it's a cow or a horse or a cat or a dog. They're in the industry because they like the lifestyle, they want to work around horses, they have a goal to meet. That's it. They don't care about the welfare of the horse. Now, I don't write my articles trying to reach those people, and I'm certainly aware of some cruel methods for these people to get where they need to be on these horses, or to get out of these horses what they need. I'm not trying to reach those people. I can't reach those people. I'm not going to sit here wasting my energy writing articles on what goes on in the darker side of the equestrian world. I'm not going to waste my time. Those people don't care. They will not read my articles. You cannot get through to these people. They don't care about horse psychology. They don't care whether a horse is happy or not. They don't care if their horse is comfortable. They just don't care. And I don't waste my energy trying to reach these people. All of my articles are written from my own experience and knowledge of horses, but in every single article I then go off and research either reports done on that subject or research done on that project. I go on the forums and read other people's opinions on those subjects. I try and bring some balance to my articles rather than just forcing my own opinion down anyone's throat. And I do that with every article. I've got my view on it. I go off and research other people's views. I try and bring some balance. I make sure I'm correct in what I'm saying. So when it comes down to muzzles, I'm trying to reach those people that do love their horses and do want to try and make informed choices. But I think there is a culture of just accepting something in the horse industry because it's always been there, or it's always been that way. So people see horse muzzles outside stables or on Vicky's horse 3 stables down while it's grazing in the field, and they become accustomed to seeing that, and it becomes normal. And then when somebody thinks, oh, do you know, my horse is getting fat, or I know it's not as simple as that. I know some people are striving to avoid certain conditions, but I think in a lot of cases people go, I'm going to go and buy a muzzle. And that's all the thought that goes into it. But do look into the subject of muzzles. Don't just take my word for it. I can't see how that would be comfortable for a horse. Just cover your own face up. Leave gaps in your fingers. Leave a hole at the end. Do you want to be breathing like that all day long? Horses aren't just breathing like that. They're eating like it. They're having to go to the water trough with one of these things on. Make informed choices. Find a better way of perhaps maintaining your horse's weight, or trying to cut down the grass intake your horse is getting. But just because you see something in a tack shop, or you see it online, or you see your friends using a certain piece of equipment, don't just accept that that's the way things are done. And that's obviously people that are new to horses as well. They will look at somebody else and go, oh, that it's done that way. Don't just accept it. That person could be wrong. Go online, do your own research. Now, when I did my own research, I couldn't find a study where there weren't horses pulled out from that research of wearing muzzles. Horses would just switch off in the field, and I've seen it for myself. The horse is stood in the field and it's just stood there. It's just switched off. It's probably just trying to concentrate on breathing rather than breathing and eating and being alert. And you're enclosing that nose. And horses have big nostrils to give oxygen to big lungs to function a big animal. What animal would be happy with that great big lump of plastic or other material they make it out of? It's always some are just bucket versions or made out of nylon straps. And I think some people might have had their feathers ruffled because they've used one year in, year out without actually thinking about what the horse is going through when they're actually wearing it. So then when they read my article pointing out what that can do to an animal, they probably feel quite sad as well, or a bit shocked that they never thought of it that way. And I can certainly understand that. I've made my own mistakes, and I've had a horseman say to me, well, it's because of that. And I've gone, no, not till now. So I but then I'm not trying to point out people's mistakes. I'm trying to encourage people to have informed choices and don't just accept that normality culture on yards, that just because you've seen something all your life or someone's used something and it's become so familiar to you, you don't actually question it anymore. And there's quite a few devices like that. And that's why I do what I do. I point out the obvious, and I do it with research though. And I do it from the psychological and instinctive aspect of the horse, rather than people thinking muzzle, that will slow you down, and people think no more than that. I've read no feedback on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook in that capacity. I don't post to Facebook. Other people share my stuff to Facebook, but I will then ask for a general consensus. Is it 50% yay, 50% nay? What's the feeling on that post? That's all the feedback I ever get. I can't go in and answer questions. If anybody wants to email me, they can do that. They can leave messages on YouTube. They can do it that way. There's an email address on my article site. I can't answer questions. It's not because I'm ignoring anyone, but I also don't want to get involved in the tit for tat and the arguments that go on in horse forums or on Facebook. Feedback is important to me, but there's certain ways of leaving feedback. Again, you can do that on horsewisdomblog.com. I'm not on Facebook. I've got my own private account on Facebook. That's as much as I do. I'm on Facebook perhaps 5 minutes a day. I don't have time to be writing and getting on with my life and scrolling through everybody's comments on my articles. So your feedback, while greatly appreciated, probably is being left in the wrong place for me to see. But the people I am trying to reach, just to make that plain to you again, is those people that do want to do the best by their horses. And I'm just pointing out things they might not have considered yet, but I definitely want them to consider every option. Now, if the muzzle is just only going to be your only option, at least then you've tried your best to investigate other methods of keeping your horse's weight down or to avoid any other ailments. It has to be said, and I'm not comfortable pointing this out, but it has to be said because in my experience, many horse owners are just downright lazy. Now, we've all been on yards where the owner turns up at 10 o'clock in the morning and their horse is knee deep in poop. And the first thing they do is slap on a muzzle and turn it out, and then they go home. There is no mucking out then and there. They're not up at the crack of dawn. They're not doing their best. They're not exercising their horse. They're not even cutting the feed down. I'm absolutely shocked how much I see in some people's buckets. I've got my horse to 25 years old, and I can tell you, of the times I have fed her, it's been a handful. It's been a handful of mix and probably a handful of chaff, and I give her that. And I've always made sure she's had her succulents, so I do give apples and carrots in moderation. But I think people see a big animal and make a big bucket of food, and these are the people I'm trying to reach. These are the people these articles are for. These are people that are trying to do their best, but also tripping themselves up in the process of trying to do their best. There are horse owners that I know of that get up at the crack of dawn and they go up the stables even before work, and they do everything. They exercise their horse if it needs exercising, they turn out, they muck out, and they're at work all day long. I've seen people bringing their horses in late at night after work. They haven't even gone home, they've not had their dinner. There are people I know of that aren't lazy, but in the majority of cases, people are very, very lazy. And people don't like to hear that. But these are the people that say they love their horse. Make informed choices. Don't just grab the first item you see because everybody else is using it. Do the best you can for your horse and research what you need to do for that horse. Don't just grab that muzzle. Don't just grab that more severe bit or that extra piece of equipment. Look into it before you actually do it. Just because everyone else on the yard is doing something doesn't mean you have to do it too. Thanks for listening, guys. Good luck out there. See you soon. Bye.